What's up everyone, hope you had a great day. Lee for Concept here, and I'm back with my Turian agent. Now, my Turian agent, I call it the WMD, my weapon of mass destruction. That pretty much tells you what weapon I'm using. The way I play my Turian agent is that he's a very strong single target dealer from close to medium/medium-ish long range. You're not like fully long range like a sniper rifle. And you offer an incredible amount of utility with your powers. Now for the skills, I have all the tech skills maxed and I only have 1 point in Apex training. For the Recon Visor, I have rank 4 recharge speed over accuracy and stability, and the reason I have that is because your two weapons that you'll be using or carrying around are incredibly accurate by themselves. So you don't really need the accuracy and stability, especially with the Dart, it's a single projectile, and the Yushia, that's pretty much a hit scan single projectile, so you're not really spraying. So you really want the recharge speed to have Recon Visor up as much as possible. For rank 5, I chose duration over augmented range. Now, this one, some people may say augmented range is better since it provides more utility, but I actually picked for duration, and the reason I picked duration is because it allows you to get more bang for your buck out of your rank 6, which you extend your duration of Recon Visor 1 second per kill, so it gives you more time to actually get more benefit out of your extended duration. For augmented range, I feel that if an enemy is at that point where you see them with augmented range, that really don't really pose a threat to you. They can't really shoot you unless it's a sharpshooter, but then you already know where they are from your red dot sight, so it doesn't really help as much as duration with extend duration would. Now for rank 6, I pick extend duration over shatter armor. Now there has been a thread that actually says that the debuff of shatter armor actually disappears when visor disappears or goes off and goes on cooldown, so I was on the fence about this, but reading that thread and seeing that thread helped push me go for extend duration. And from extend duration with the 50% duration, you can actually get over 20 seconds. I've even had situations where I've got over 25 seconds of Recon Visor duration. For the next skill, Tactical Cloak. For Tactical Cloak, I have for rank 4 damage bonus over recharge speed, duration over speed, and escape artist over combat cloak. So in the text guide, the in-depth text guide that I'll have in the link in the description below, so basically I have this kind of set for Tactical Cloak because when you break Tactical Cloak early, like when you use it and break it as soon as possible, you actually get the recharge way faster if you have escape artist over combat cloak. And from a couple of snippets of information I've actually read, which I'm not sure if it's still true for patch 1.06, that escape artist still applies a 2-second damage buff after breaking cloak. You only get the invisibility from combat cloak, and that's the only thing it offers. And plus, I generally like the utility of just having be able to regen shields in cloak, and because it allows you to use cloak to drop aggro and still regenerate health and shields. And because you're decloaking very fast and getting the very fast recharge speed, so recharge speed won't actually matter that as much because you're breaking cloak early, so the damage bonus is much better. Duration allows you to do objectives, revives safely, and really speed is not a problem since you also pick up speed from tactical evasion. Now for your third skill, Flamethrower, I pick up damage over recharge speed, reach over lingering burn, and blinding heat over anti-armor. Now, the recharge speed, this is more of a personal preference, I think, because a lot of the time I love tapping Flamethrower. What that means is instead of channeling it, I'll kind of do a quick burst of Flamethrower for the debuffs, and then I'll let it recharge on its own. And if you use Flamethrower like that, you essentially break Flamethrower and break the cooldown like you do breaking Tactical Cloak early. and this refunds a very large chunk of the cooldown. So I don't really need recharge speed as much, and the damage is actually pretty nice. With rank 5, I go reach over lingering burn. Now, this is more of a playstyle kind of thing. I actually like flamethrower not for its damage, but for its utility, and that means I want it to hit as many as many enemies as possible. So I really went for the reach over lingering burn. Lingering burn is amazing, especially paired with stuff like anti-armor, and you do an incredible amount of damage. But I use it for the utility of blinding heat. I also use it to be able to cause the fire stagger kind of effect, or a CC effect. So I really wanted to hit as many things as possible, and that's why I went for reach. For blinding heat, this allows you to get the reduced damage output on enemies that are burning by 50%, and you can combo this with tech sabotage, which further reduces their damage by 30%. So this is a great utility skill. It allows you to do an effective 80% damage debuff on everything you hit with flamethrower. So it's very nice, and that's why I picked blinding heat over anti-armor. Obviously I have 1 point in Apex training, and for support systems I go for tech duration over melee. You're not really going to use melee as much as you think for this build. Obviously it's a gun based, ability based build, I guess I would say, and tech duration allows you to get more duration out of your debuffs like tech sabotage and blinding heat. Now for tactical evasion, obviously shields, movement speed, health. You could go for a tactical revive for the damage resistance upon reviving, but it's only for 5 seconds while this is always on. Also this movement speed makes it so you picked up, quote unquote, picked up the movement speed from the tactical cloak upgrade that you missed out. It's just, I just generally pick the max shields, max health whenever I see it on classes. Now for rank 6, definitely go for tech sabotage. Your shield reset, it's not something that will save you. With this, for rank 6, you definitely want to pick tech sabotage, and the reason is, with shield reset, this isn't something that will save you, whereas tech sabotage, this damage debuff along with the damage debuff of blinding heat will save you, and that's incredible CC, especially if you also get them to be in a fire stagger state as well. So you create a lot of, I would say, threat, because you CC them and you also cause them to be in a fire stagger state if they're staggerable, and you also do an incredible amount of damage with recon visor and tactical cloak. So this makes it so your flamethrower has a lot more utility and gives it another way to use the flamethrower rather than just the damage. As for what to level up first, I would actually go for a mix of upgrades. So I would actually go for rank 3 in, wrong skill, rank 3 in tactical cloak, rank 5 for the duration of recon visor, and then rank 5 for support systems to get their health. Then you're obviously 1 pointer, it's easy 1 pointer, and then there will be a personal preference of maxing recon visor versus tactical cloak. I prefer to max tactical cloak because it provides utility, allows you to do objectives and revives, whereas recon visor, it just allows you to kill things faster and see things through wall. It's still helpful, and that's why you max that up. Max whichever one you didn't max out of them. Then I would max support systems for the tech sabotage debuff, since you'd already have that max rank 5. And then I'll max flamethrower, since flamethrower still provides a CC effect, still provides a lot of utility, because you'll be proccing it with the tech sabotage even though you don't have blinding heat. But you still max it at the end. And that's what I would choose to max out. Now for weapons, I actually have the Dart and the Yusha. I've tried a lot of weapons, and you will see this if you follow my channel. After this build, I would have a couple of videos showing. I won't show all of them because I tried a lot of them, and that would just be a lot of videos. So I'll just do a couple, upload a couple. But I've settled on the Dart and the Yusha, and I still have just a penalty of 9%, so it's still very, very usable. The Dart, very fast reload speed for its weapon archetype is what I should say. very strong, very powerful, especially because it's also a single shot projectile, so it's not pellet based. You actually can't get the smart choke on this. So this means that it allows you to pick up the receiver, which gives you 100% penetration, and the barrel, which is obviously the best mod for damage that you can get. I'll also run the U-shell. Obviously it's a backup. I don't really use the U-shell much. It's just my backup for when my Dun runs out of ammo and I can't get to an ammo crate as fast. Thermal clip storage for the low reserves that is in Dun. Also, this makes up so you don't have to pick up the shotgun thermal clip, and you can get maximum penetration with tac visor up and maximum damage. Now for mods, I actually use this is the most damage you can get, the shotgun rail lamp and the universal power amp. Now I didn't obviously use this for all the videos, since I only have quite a little bunch of ultra rares, but I did do one video on on having both ultra rares, and that's against Kets, so keep an eye out for that if you're interested to see the kind of damage output that I would have for stacking 2 ultra rare power or damage amps. And for the equipment, I obviously said earlier I'm using the thermal clip storage. Now for the playstyle. So this is a bit more of, it's something that you have to think about along the way. So obviously for single target you use tac visor, and then you could tactical cloak, and then start pelting them with your Dun, and this will pretty much guaranteed kill whichever mob you're going up against. If for example you go up against a armored elite, and armored elite takes more punishment, you could actually engage them with flamethrower first. This will cause them to do less damage, and also cause them to kind of like do the fire stagger. We really need to term that, whatever it is, because stun's a stun, but fire stagger, I'm guessing we just call fire stagger. Anyways, we cause a fire stagger. This allows you to get easy shots off with the Dun. Against unshielded or shielded mooks, your Dun staggers them, so this gives you a very easy way to just deal with any enemies that you see that are unshielded and standard sized. As for what you use, I kind of always have recon visor on whenever I see that I'm about to get flanked or when the wave starts. Tactical cloak is, it's something that I use intuitively, is what I should say. Sorry for that kind of break. I was trying to think of a way to describe it, but tactical cloak, you have to keep in mind that it's your only get out of jail free card besides your cloak dodge, which is still helpful. But it's the only way you will be able to revive your allies safely, the only way you can do objectives safely. So you really want to either keep it in your back pocket or break it as soon as possible, so you pretty much be guaranteed to have it up as much as possible. For flamethrower, I kind of use flamethrower not for damage, but obviously for the utility, as I said. So for flamethrower, for flamethrower, there are a couple of ways that I'll use it, and these are the ways I'll only use it. I'll use it if I can see a group of staggerable enemies, like unshielded standard size mooks that are also armored, and I'll use flamethrower. And depending on where I'll be, I'll keep channeling it because they'll be staggered, and flamethrower still does quite a decent amount of damage, not picking up the anti-armor, because you still pick up the damage evolution, and this will do quite a bit of damage. If they're unstaggerable, for say berserkers or atlases for the outlaws, shielded enemies for Ket, or nullifiers or the observers for remnant, what I'll do is I'll kind of spray the flamethrower over them, and because you picked up reach, you'll most likely be able to tag them with flamethrower, and this will apply your debuffs, and then I'll turn it off. And because you broke flamethrower, quote unquote broke it early, so it will refund the recharge speed a lot faster, like what you do with cloak. So you don't really need to pick up the recharge speed, and you'll apply the debuffs that way. And then because you're not exposing yourself by channeling it, you are able to get into cover and start pelting them with recon visor or use Tactical Cloak to apply damage buffs to your Dun. And this will make it so it's more safer to use basically. I also use Flamethrower when I run out of ammo and I know they're staggerable. This will make them doing the 5 stagger animation, and it will allow you to reload your Dun, and provides easy shots when they're in that kind of like 5 stagger state as well. I'll also use Flamethrower for finishing off a low health enemy, because it still does a very nice chunk of damage. So there's a lot of ways you can use Flamethrower. It's just really up to you to intuitively use it in a way that fits your playstyle, pretty much. As for the advice, I have it's a lot better to see the advice on my in-depth tech description below. There are a lot of little things like tactical cloak breaking early and dodging with your quote-unquote mini cloak dodge that drops aggro. So there's couple of little things that you could know. A more in-depth description for the text guide below. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope to see you next time, and I'll leave you with the rest of the footage.